Happy Memorial Day, everybody, to my friends down under in the States. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you for coming back to my channel. And yes, at the end, I will dial back some of my comments regarding Ouch School. I've had more time to look into it. Hang around. I'll talk about that. No, not only that, but how I think it's going to impact VIP Kid in the future, which I think it will have an impact. So let's get right into it today. The Frenzy. So what I've been doing with the Frenzy lately, as you know, is I've been skipping a lot of pre-booking frenzies, and I did that again yesterday. Set my alarm for 12:55 a.m., got up, came down, put in my slots. Last week I did do the pre-booking frenzy. I got 50 slots. This week I skip it, I get 49. So pretty much the same whatever I do, but I'm getting more new students, and I think my older students hopefully will come into my schedule a bit as the week goes along also. Here's my thoughts on this. I don't like getting up at 12:55. I hate it, but here's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's getting me new students, and I think that's the name of the game for me, at least right now. And think about it this way. With so many teachers, we know that there are double the amount of slots available this April compared to last April, and May is going to be roughly the same. So think about it from a new student's perspective. Why on earth would they book in an undesirable spot like non-peak times with a new teacher when they don't have to? When they can go and they can find a different teacher that has those availabilities there. Because we know there's so many teachers, so someone's got peak times available. So that's why I'm doing it, because when you have the pre-booking frenzy, those existing students go in there like pigeons and start snapping up all those slots. So you've got nothing left for those new students. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I hate getting up at that time, but I do it. I go back to bed, of course, have a little bit more coffee. We still are functional for the most part, even with it. So that's why I'm doing it anyways. Leave some comments on whether you think that makes sense or not. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Okay, the next part, tokens. So, tokens. I don't know if you looked at the token setter, but I hope you like Meg and Mike cutouts, because that's basically all you can get nowadays with your tokens. And they took, recently anyways, I think they took off the gift cards redeeming for that, and I don't know if they're ever bringing them back. But anyways, I think this is the beginning of the end of the token center. With that, which, as I've said, I don't fault VIP Kid for doing that, because I just don't think they have to. The TEFL certificate. This is something I've been reading on the Hutong. People are having issues trying to get through the course, so it looks like there's some tech issues. So maybe hold off a day or two getting that until they can work out some of the kinks, because it seems like it's there's some issues there on getting through it and getting it completed. I think it'll take like an hour or two at the very most. I haven't looked at it yet, but maybe hold off a day or two. You definitely want to get it because it'll show up in your profile, and sure, it may not increase your bookings, but it definitely will not hurt. LPs might be looking for it, parents might be looking for it, I don't know, but it will not hurt having it there, so take the hour that it might need to get it. Okay, now on with, oh yeah, wait, let's go back to bookings, back to Frenzy. So what I did this week is I shifted in this frenzy. I said, no more nights for me. I'm done with nights. At least I've got one more this week, but for this upcoming frenzy anyways, what I did is I have to stay up until 9:30. So I'm on the Atlantic time zone, so 1 hour ahead of Eastern. I got to stay up to 9:30 to start my night. So I would usually work 3 slots, and that's 11 o'clock, and then I got to get up for like 4:30, and I just felt that was so hard on my body when I'm used to going to bed like 8:45 or thereabouts. So what I've done is I've shifted my night slots up to the next morning. So I've moved that. Now I'm working about an hour and a half earlier in the mornings, and I can go to bed earlier, and I'm just going to try this. I might not get booked as much, but it's going to be easier on my body. I'm out of nights. I know some people have mentioned they don't like doing nights also. But that's what I've done, because I just felt like I had to waste so much time to get to 9:30. At least this way, it just might be easier. Maybe that'll work for you. Let me know in the comments if that is something that might work for you too if you're working nights. Okay, Ouch School and VIP Kid. So as promised, I will dial back some of those comments. So from what I've found back out in the last little bit, it sounds like $200 is what teachers are getting for referring on another teacher to it. And for the most part, I don't think there's anything other than that being received by the teachers. So I see them seeing an opportunity for their business, and they're taking advantage of that, and I don't fault them for it. So I'll dial back some of my comments that I left in my last video on that. Teachers are taking advantage of the good opportunity that's there. And I looked at OutSchool. OutSchool looks very, very interesting. So the one thing, and I'll just mention this quickly, the one thing I have against OutSchool is that they're using the Zoom platform. And if you look, just search the hacking that's happened in Zoom over the last few months. And to Zoom's defense, they have gone from on average 10 million users per day back in December to 300 million users per day in April. That is massive growth. So of course with that there's going to be issues. So if you look up Zoom bombing, just look up Zoom bombing, go search. I don't even have to talk any more about that, but that's what's happening to some meetings out there with it. So take a look at Zoom bombing, very interesting. Not for the person hosting the meeting, that's for sure. Also, there's been issues with people sending out invites, and that's been hacked, and then they're sending out invites that have corruption, that when you click to accept it, you're actually corrupting your computer. So hackers have used that to then hack into your computer. So that's happened a lot over the last little bit too. So anyways, Zoom is trying to address the problem. I don't know if they have or not yet, but until that's fixed, I don't care, and I will comment how good I think OutSchool is. But until that's fixed, I'm not touching OutSchool with a 10-foot pole. That's just my opinion. And not on OutSchool, just on the Zoom platform. Zoom will fix it. They will encrypt things and they will fix it, or get their own platform, which is what I would suggest, but they will fix it over time. Here's what I'm seeing with Zoom. It looks very, very intriguing for the teacher, for the students. It looks very interesting. And I think in the end of it, this is going to be the model for a portion of schooling for kids. And here's why I think that. Here, let's bring it. It comes down to numbers and the level of education. So for around here in Canada anyways, a lot of your private schools are going to be in around $5,000 a year. So just think about, what can you do with $5,000? Well, if each class could be $5, which I think Zoom can get down to, or teachers can get down to, the way I come up with that is, let's say a class size was 15 and the teacher charged $5 a head for the hour. Well, that's $75. Zoom keeps 30%, so now the teacher's left with $50 an hour for a teacher is mighty fine. So it makes sense for the teacher to be able to do it. 15 is a good class size. You could put that class to like-minded individuals, meaning that they're all at the same skill level. So you could really push them even more than your typical class. So it comes out to about $25 a day. The student would get 5 hours of teaching a day in different subjects. Let's say 200 days of teaching days. There's no storm days, no other days or whatever. So that comes out to $5,000 if you are able to spend $25 a day, which would be 5 classes. So look at what you can spend and what you can get. Now, yes, they would have to get down to $5 a class, but I think there would be teachers that would be willing to do that if they can get 15 students. So I see so much potential there. Now, it's not there yet. It's sort of niche-y right now, but that niche is getting bigger and bigger and bigger as we see it go along here. So OutSchool looks very intriguing for the teacher as well as the student, for a great experience. And I just love the business model that's there. So that's why I'm dialing back some of my comments, because the teachers are seeing a good thing and they're running with it. So anyways, leave some comments on what you think on OutSchool and other things. Please do like my video. Please subscribe. Come back. I'll do a video in the next few days. Happy Memorial Day.